Bambinos! And welcome to the very first proper episode of a lovely little bit of squirrel, or a lovely bit of squirrel. I get that quote wrong sometimes. I have the word little, well, little in there. Now, before we talk about Series 1, Episode 1 of Friday Night Dinner, let's do some admin! Yay! And you're probably hearing, Tom, this is your third channel. You don't talk like this in videos. Well, this is my podcast voice, my radio voice. We've also got a video uploaded onto Taskmaster World. Now, the admin is for podcast listeners with the headphones on, headphone listeners, and it's for the visual listeners who are watching this on the weird side on YouTube. So, let's get on with the podcast admin. Now, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, have you seen Series 1, Episode 1 of Friday Night Dinner? Have you already seen it? Are you going to rewatch it along with me? What are you going to do? Come on, you make your mind up. Because if you haven't seen it, this goes for everyone. If you haven't seen it, please watch it before you listen to this. Because I will be going to spoilers. So you have been warned. Now, for visual listeners, for YouTubers listeners, this podcast has now got artwork, where the last one didn't have artwork, and we're going to use the same theme tune we used in the last video as well, just until I make a theme tune, so things will be rapidly changing. But now we've got the admin out of the way, let's get on to the Friday Night Dinner lovely little lovely bit of squirrel podcast. Now, in episode 1, we got to meet Jim, Johnny, Adam, Jackie, Martin, Wilson, and a guest character. Now, Jim is the next door neighbour with his dog Wilson. Johnny and Adam are brothers. Jackie and Martin are married. Now, Jim is played by Mark Heap. I think I pronounced his last name right. Johnny is played by Tom Rosenbell. Probably not pronounced his last name right. Adam is played by what's he called? I don't remember his name. Jackie is played by someone that I don't know her name, and Martin's played by I don't remember. It's really bad that I'm not remembering these names. Because I will remember the names, but it's not Adam. It's someone else. I'll remember the name. Sorry for the next one. So we start with the episode, and it's the first time we ever see the house where Adam and Johnny are going to stay to do Friday night dinner with Jackie and Martin. Now, Jackie is making the tea, and Martin is getting really annoyed because Jackie wants to throw away his collection of New Scientist magazines, and Martin wants to keep it. Now, this is a family-friendly podcast and a family-friendly YouTube channel, so there will be no swear words or anything, because there is a little bit of swearing in this show, so none of it will be repeated, so the famous catchphrase won't be repeated on this podcast. Similar to the Royal Ramble podcast, which is all about the royal family. Not the royal family, the TV show, the royal family. Now, in this episode, they're trying to sell a sofa bed. Now, there's a blue room. That's the first and only time you ever get to see this blue room ever featured on Friday Night Dinner. And personally, I was rather quite shocked, because I thought, oh, they redecorate. I didn't know they redecorate the lounge, and then I later realised that the lounge wasn't ever blue, and that wasn't the lounge, it was a different room. And also, the variation on the time of these podcasts won't be like an hour. It's probably like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. It depends on how much I witter on about the episode. Now, I did forget to mention, but I will go back and mention, if you're living in the UK and listening and watching this podcast, you can watch it on Netflix, Sky, All4, and BritBox UK, but I'm not sure about international markets. I know it's more likely to be on Netflix worldwide, but don't quote me on that, because I don't know that for 100% sure. Anyway, back to the episode. Now, Jim is scared of Wilson, and Jim broke his toilet. But in the episode, you never found out how he broke his toilet, and so Jim needs to use the Goodman's toilet, which is Johnny, Adam, Jackie, and Martin Goodman. Paul Ritter is Martin, I remembered now. And Adam is played by someone, but the name escapes me. Because we're filming this in a interesting way, I will Google who plays Adam on Friday Night Dinner. So we're gonna Google this because I really want to know. Simon Bird, that's his name. Simon Bird. So we've got Simon Bird as Adam. We've got Tom Rosenbell as Johnny. Jackie as I don't remember. I don't know how Toast. I'm not even gonna attempt it because I don't want to offend her if she's listening. And we've got Paul Ritter as Martin. Now, it's the first time you hear loads of catchphrases. The first time Martin ever says "Hello, Bambinos," and it's just really interesting. Now, back to the story, back to the episode. Now, I quite like this as an opening episode for a sitcom because it opens it really nicely and just makes it a really nice episode and a nice experience to watch. Now, they have their tea, and we'll get on to behind the scenes stuff when we go and review 10 years of Friday Night Dinner and a lovely bit of Squirrel. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So as you watch it, they're eating the dinner, and Jim keeps coming in and out because he needs toilet. So they knock on the door. He knocks on. They have to go get him, and then Adam and Johnny play a prank on each other, where Johnny puts salt in Adam's drink, and Adam like, oh, I know what you've done. Spins him around, and he still all falls on him, which is ha 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 hilarious. I am rather funny. Anyway, back to what I was saying. And so you have that dynamic of brother and brothers, and it is rather funny because I've got a brother myself, and then I know the dynamic. Now, what's my favourite part of the episode, you may ask? Because I'm not going to go through every single scene in the episode. Is my favourite part is pretty much when they're trying to move the bed sofa, which sort of reminds me of a scene from Friends where Ross shouts, "Pivot, pivot, pivot, pivot." Remind me of that. More of like, don't bang the wall, don't get the no, no, no. And then you find out that the bloke that wanted to buy this bed sofa picks up the phone like, oh no, oh no. And his dad had suddenly died, who he was getting the sofa bed for. So, and then previously, earlier in the episode, Adam had put loads of salt in Johnny's famous Formula One cup, which is because he talked about Formula One right in the very beginning of the episode, and throughout the series you see different elements of Johnny's love for Formula One. So this bloke really upset gets Martin's got a bad hearing in one ear, so Martin can't hear properly, and you find out that the cup that Martin had got for the guest had it ended up being salt in it. So he was upset there's salt in it, drank some water and salt in that again. So he runs off because he's really upset. And Martin, because Martin can't hear, it upsets Martin. It upset them, and Martin was confused by he was annoyed. And in this episode, my favourite character has got to be Adam. Simon Bird's Adam is my favourite character in the whole of Friday Night Dinner. I know you would all say Jim, but no, Adam wins it for me. And this episode shows off the brother dynamic and introduces you to the family, and you know how and you get to hear about Auntie Val, who was on the phone to Jackie a lot, talking about MasterChef UK. They were going to watch the final, and you think, "Oh, this is really good." And you get to the very last second of the episode, and you find out that Jim went to the bathroom, opened the door, and he knows who's won. But this whole episode, Jackie was saying, "Johnny, put it on record quickly, Johnny, is it recording?" And she's talking to Auntie Val. "Oh yes, yes, Johnny, 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 have you recorded it? Oh yes, oh, is he there? Oh yes, Johnny, record it, Johnny, record it, Johnny. Oh yes, oh yes." And then you hear Jim. I'm not doing impressions of the characters. Obviously, I'm doing my own version. Really, just my voice, but I'm just acting out things. And the doors sort of open, and Jim goes, "Oh, wouldn't have expected him to win MasterChef." And that's when Jackie was a little bit upset because she wanted to watch the final episode of MasterChef UK. Which I'll probably talk about more. Probably talk about MasterChef more on this, on the Weird Side, which is my third YouTube channel. If you're listening to this in the audio realm, and I'm gonna rate this. I don't know, 5 Friday night dinners, 5 Friday night dinners out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Had everything you needed. And the next episode is going to be better reviewed because in the next episode, I'll write notes down and bits and bobs. I just watched it right before this. The next episode will be more prepared, but this is the first episode of A Lovely Bit of Squirrel. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube, and thank you guys for listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast from. Hope you enjoyed this video. Time on, time out, and Friday night dinner. Fan out. Goodbye, Bambinos. Goodbye.